ございます。ありがとうございます。
Alright. So first off, we're gonna mess up our block because we're not holding our mouse properly.
No, but it works.
We might not mess it up, but we'll see. Anyway. And let's see.
ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。ありがとうございます。
Alright, alright. Cool it with the follow button, please.
ありがとうございます。
Okay. So that, as you can see, the tower was kind of a dick. So, I'm gonna do the stat build this game. What this is gonna do, the difference between the stat build and the real build, is the real build gives you a lot more power in lane, gives you more early kill potential, stuff like that. So that if an ally walks by, you can actually kill people. What the stat build does is it really hinders your game early on, but it gives you a large mid-game advantage sometimes, like really, really large sometimes. And you'll notice that when I got sniped by a bunch of 1900s, I actually often did this build and completely destroyed them because they couldn't deal with just how many stats we had, right? Anyway, so someone's spamming the follow button. I'm gonna have to turn that off for now. Sorry. So, So anyway, stat build versus real build. The real build gives you much stronger laning presence, so that you can actually contest your lane better. Against most people, like I've been sniped by a lot of 1900s and I did just fine in lane with the stat build. However, if you're against a strong laner, like when I did this build against Super KGE, he completely annihilated me in lane. It wasn't even close. He just took Gauntlet, and every time I walked up the lane, he just beat my head in. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like I already knew the flaw of the stat build, but I wasn't used to seeing anyone really take advantage of it, despite me picking Gemini a lot when I get sniped. So it is tried, tested, and true against 1900s, but you like against a top player like that, he will take advantage of you and beat your head in. So there is a huge disadvantage there, because whenever he has his Q up, he's gonna sit around right here and make it hard for you to pull the lane, which is what I would do to other people. These were just other 1900s that clearly weren't as good as him. And what they would do is they would allow me to still CS and stuff just fine. I wouldn't try and kill them or anything like that. I would just load up on the bracers and start dominating the mid game, because they really had a hard time killing me. So one of the advantages about going the stat build is that it's very hard for bursters to kill you. This was back when people would pick Parasite against me in Tempest. Tempest isn't a burster, but it helps me survive the Tempest ultimate, because I usually eat a lot of solo Tempest ultimates, because they will ignore my entire team very often, and they'll be like, hey, let's kill Testy, because these guys aren't doing anything, so let's just kill Testy. So that would happen very often, so I would just go stat build, and just so I could power right through it, right? They would Tempest ultimate, and they'd be like, oh my god, he's still got 2000 HP left, and I'd be like, goddamn right, let's go. So, you know, that's the one advantage of it, well, one of the advantages of it. But as I said, it completely reduces your strength in lane. If they sent really anything else mid, they could actually dominate this lane. They sent Thunderbringer mid, who's not able to take advantage of this matchup nearly as well. Not Thunderbringer, a really, really great Thunderbringer could take advantage of it, but it would be much more difficult than if you sent like a real strong hero mid like Devo or Gauntlet or Nomad would be, you know, something much stronger. Though, so now, yeah, as I said, I do this mostly because I'm expecting to be alone, and I want to survive any kind of ganks and bursts they can throw at me. They're gonna have to throw a lot to get me off 1200 HP right now. This is just 2000 gold, so the cost of the build is very efficient. But as you can see, I have no kill potential. I'm not gonna go in and murder this Thunderbringer anytime soon, right? But, so what I'm doing here is I'm rushing for level 11. I'm just really gonna start rushing for it soon. I'm gonna split farm. I'm not gonna try and steal any experience from my allies, but I will take this jungle camp. So most parasites, if they're decent, they don't really waste time on the small camp. But so that's my goal, is to get to level 11. So I'm gonna probably split myself here at level 7. Alright. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure, well, I should have said this earlier. First thing we should do is make sure this is hotkeyed to like 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, the courier.
I took the top room.
Because we're gonna be splitting up our dogs to get them ready. Now, the first time I used my dogs, you'll notice sometimes it's a little bit awkward, and that's because they're not hotkeyed. But I'm always,
you can go.
you know, I want them in hotkeyed form, so I sometimes reach for that first, but they're not hotkeyed yet. So I always try and make sure I hotkey them right away. There's been times where I haven't, but it's very, very rare. So right now we're just gonna farm in 2 places at once and try and rush that level 11. We're not gonna be too concerned with ganking at the moment, though we do want to stop this Dark Lady from free farming if she is. Is Dark Lady free farming, or is she just getting good farm or bad farm? She's level 7, so.
Yeah, because I left the lane because I got ganked twice by Tempest.
Okay. Just asking. Alright, so we're sending our dog back. Yada yada yada. Healing it. And getting full HP. Now we're gonna hit 1, which is still our main dog. We're gonna buy
right now.
a bolstering armband.
That's exactly what they do every 2 minutes.
No. We can leave it here just for a little while since this camp hasn't respawned. So I can try, if I get all of these creeps, I'm able to buy some steam boots as well. And all of a sudden, we're going to be that much stronger when we reform. We're going to split again very soon. Before he nukes us, preferably, so that we can have very good HP if we go somewhere. Right now, our bottom lane doesn't need help. Our top lane does need help, but we're gonna pretend we're gonna be fine until level 11. We might be able to kill her, but we don't have as much damage as we'd like. But she doesn't have as much HP as she'd like, so there's that. As you can see, I'm still taking the small camp. I'm gonna actually do the hard camp now as well. Just to really try and get that level 11 fast. And after that, I should be able to start really putting pressure around the map. When you do the regular build, you're gonna still go with like steam boots in a bottle. You don't necessarily need the bottle, but it's still okay. You know, there's still advantages to it. But if you're mid, you'll go steam boots bottle. If you're not mid, you'll go steam boots energizer. And the reason you do that is because it all works very well with. First of all, energize is just a great item, and it works really well with Gemini's passive. So the standard is like steam boots, energizer, Dawnbringer,
Pretty
right?
low.
Sometimes it's like
Vegan.
something else, like a BKB, if you want it. Now it is more efficient to get your E here, but in the past I've I've just been parasite ganked so much that sometimes I just get stats anyway, right? It's more efficient to get your E, it's better to get your E, I recommend getting your E, but I'm gonna get stats. So, for no discernible reason that you can see other than I want more HP. So I'm gonna reform, split again, do the jungle farm again. I'm gonna look around the map, see that there's 4 people in our jungle. Looks like 5 actually. It's probably 5 since Dark Lady was there. So they're starting to put pressure on us.
One of your structures is under attack.
It would be slightly dangerous for me to be there. As you can see, I'm getting very close to level 11 when no one on their team is level 9. This is actually a really good spot to be in. We got 83 creeps at 10:45, so we're doing fine. And as soon as we hit level 11, we may be able to pressure around the map. We should probably tell our team that we're going to do that. Even though we have a Moon Queen on the team, so that can somewhat make our lineup a little more passive. So we have the option with this lineup to play the farm game or whatever type of game we want, really. I'm not gonna go for that just because I kind of feel that there's people behind me, and there are.
Tempest is here.
Yeah.
And Dark Lady.
So we're gonna nuke this wave. We're not gonna help just because I don't think we're gonna go get a kill. We're not gonna do much damage. A stun's probably not gonna save him. But we're gonna help now.
3 kills already? Boom goes the dynamite. Gets the double.
And we got the all-important level 11. I'm gonna send 1 dog here, 1 dog here. Unfortunately, we're getting blocked.
Smackdown.
In this particular case, we wouldn't catch him anyway. But yeah, see, now I can just pretty much tank all their skills. Before, losing 450 HP would be, you know, kind of a big deal. But now, not so much, so... I'm not gonna steal Moon Queen's farm. I don't care about my parasite that much. I'm coming to nuke this way. He has somewhere else to go, so I'm not too concerned about taking that. Anyway, we're gonna send this dog over here. I'm gonna just use him to
They're
nuke,
pushing mid.
and then send this one home. I'm gonna just start leveling this anyway, because we're at a point where it's very hard for them to kill us. They have no one level 10 or level 9 yet, still. They did group up, they lost experience, they lost farm time, they did take a tower, they got a couple kills out of it. So it wasn't completely worthless for them, but the game is really a game about economy more than anything else, so... Here we're getting in a slightly dangerous position. It's because everyone's off the map. Well, almost everyone. And this is why I really dislike playing against Dark Lady as Gemini. It's very, very difficult. And yeah. So we're not able to 4v1 unfortunately, so that's a problem. But we were able to take 1300 damage without dying. So that's, you know, that's one of the benefits of the stat build. As again, like I don't necessarily recommend it because of how weak it makes you in lane. So you lose out on gank opportunities, you lose out on all those opportunities. But trust me, by the gank counter on my stream, which I still think is really lopsided, and it should be even more in the ganks towards Testy versus the ones I get. Just trust me that I think it's worth it for me in some cases. Now, the other build you have is, which isn't the stat build, which is a normal carry build. You just turn Gemini into a normal carry that can occasionally split up and do extra damage, or
Caution.
1 second. So we're gonna either force him to use his ultimate, or we're gonna murder him, and the murder was on the menu today. So, see, before level 11 your ultimate doesn't do much damage. You can go in on people and it doesn't do much. But anyway, back to the carry build. The carry build you'd normally want to do on Gemini. It switches up a little bit, but generally it's like Steam Boots, Energizer, Dawnbringer. And after that you can choose whether you need a BKB, you can choose whether you need a heart, you can choose whether you need a butterfly, you can choose whether you need a Genjuro. A Genjuro is actually really strong on him as well, and after that you just get standard carry items. Whatever those may be for that particular game, you would change it based on the game. So I can't tell you what would ideally be the best one, because it would change on the lineups and what the game is. In a TMM game, you probably couldn't go wrong with...
That wasn't necessary.
You probably couldn't go wrong with something like Steam Boots, Energizer, Dawnbringer, BKB, Genjuro, and then maybe Savage Mace or something. It doesn't matter what you would get after that, really. A Butterfly. Butterfly would work better with your passive than a Savage Mace, while still providing you excellent damage. So that would be like a very good standard TMM build. And I'm losing out on an opportunity here almost. Okay, I cancelled my E on that wolf there before I wasted good farm time. So that would be a very good build. That would be great for a TMM setup. If it's in a scrim setup, it depends. I think the carry build would still be fine. You may want to swap Genjuro out for something else, because there's usually a lot more AoE ultimates, something solid like a Tempest ultimate, and people are much more prone to buying gems and even baiting your Genjuro sometimes, so that you're not going to run into their jungle and solo pick somebody off without somebody helping out. That's not always true. Sometimes scrims are a little more loose, but sometimes after you do that once, they'll tighten up and try and set a trap for you. So you gotta think about that. Though sometimes one of the advantages of Genjuro, even in that setting, is that they can't set a trap for you. You have to know the difference of when you can and when you can't, which is really just based on your vision in the game, right? Like, if you have complete map control, Genjuro is always going to be very strong, because they can't even get out of their base to place wards, because you're Genjuroing around, killing them. So, there's that. So it's a very solid build overall. Right now we're just trying to get level 16. We don't necessarily need that, but, we're not gonna lose good time here for nothing. So there's Jeremiah, just chilling. Our wolf has 1100 HP. That's not ideal for us, right? We don't want to be over there. Maybe they'll blink and Tempest ultimate. They probably won't, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll say hi to Dark Lady, bite her in the face. Nope. She turned around. Anyway, my Ice Wolf doesn't have anything to do down here right now. I could send it over here. But I'm just gonna wait for the camps to respawn while this guy farms. Now, I'm not sure if I talked fully about hotkeys, but I always hotkey. I'm a Brood War player. Brood War was my game for 10 years. It was really my first love. Sorry, ladies. But so I'm very used to having hotkeys, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my main wolf is always 1. Once in a while I'll hotkey over it and make it fire wolf by accident, but always just reset that right away. So my main hotkey is always my main wolf, which is what I'm gonna click when I'm gonna not do anything. I'm gonna split up first. So my main hockey is always 1, my fire wolf is always 2, my ice wolf is always 3. It's good to make sure that your fire and ice wolf are always the same, because when they're not the same you might confuse yourself in a later game and be like, oh shit, which one's fire, which one's ice, you know? So it's just good to, it's just good form to have them always be the same wolf.
Double damage.
And 4 is my courier. And this just allows me to really be faster in my movements, really. So I can just press 2-2, 3-3, 2-2, 3-3, you know, I can see what's going on at a very fast clip. Right here, the map is blocked right now. I'll unblock it so I can show you the vision on the map so you can understand why I am where I am. So we have a ward up here, and that's really all the vision we have right now. So I'm a little... We see pink mid, so we know they're not gonna really go for us without pink. Pink is Dark Lady, they need to silence us, they need to hold us for a long time because we have so much HP. And Dark Lady is really the best person on their team to do that, even better than Tempest, just because she will do more damage and she will silence me for longer. So right now we're kind of scrounging farm, we're letting our team farm in mid lane and whatever else. We see the Salonia, and we are hungry. And we do not let her kill that ward. We almost let her kill that ward, but we just wanted to assess the situation first before we went in. If there were more people, I still might have jumped in, depending on whether I think I can take them or not. So right now, if you don't do the stat build, and you go carry build, and you're running around in separate wolf form a lot, you're gonna find that if they jump you with something like a pharaoh or whatever, you're gonna have a lot harder time surviving than normal. There are a lot of good heroes like Dark Lady and stuff that are great against Gemini. Dark Lady is really good just because of the silence. If you're in split wolf form and you want to become whole again, no, she's gonna stop you. So, but right now in this particular game, they're kind of stuck. So, and she used that. So I'm gonna go crazy now. I'm gonna do this for you, people. I'm gonna go really, really crazy now and try and just dive my heart out. So she's silenced one dog. Now she's staying in the woods there. That's clever. Well, not clever. It's just standard. But that's what she should be doing, because I would be after her. Now that Tempest should not ult me, because I think I can turn around and kill them. Now I should leave this dog away so I can do this. Now had he done that sooner and reacted sooner, I would have been stuck, but he didn't, so we just took advantage of it. So right now their team really can't do a whole lot to me. I just have way too much HP. And the beautiful thing about doing the stat build, one of the really good things I do like about it is that it really increases. You get the most out of your armor, and you get the most out of your magic armor as well. Like that's part of the whole HP process, right? Like, you really, like, the dogs in split form, they have more magic armor than your hero in normal form. So at this time, no matter where they are on the map, I can always be in 2 places at once. Whereas with the carry build, you probably don't want to be split all the time. Like, because you're much easier to kill. When you're in split form, at least. However, with the carry build, as I said, you do have the advantage of actually carrying harder. So you're going to be more useful in the early game. You're going to be more useful in ganks in the early game. In team fights, it's kind of mixed. If you're level 11, you're more useful with the stat build, like for certain. But it is kind of mixed. It depends on just a lot on what your role is. In my games, oftentimes I have to play like carry, tank. Like I have to play both roles, even though I'm Gravekeeper with 1100 HP, right? So it's not ideal because sometimes, you know, people don't know what to do, and you tell them and it just still doesn't work. So in this game, in this case, I don't have to tell anyone what to do. That's what makes it somewhat very simple. Is that I can just run in face first, do all the damage I want, and if I need help, I have a lot of HP and whatnot, so they can actually just discern very easily. It makes teamfighting very easily. It's one of the things that Armadon and Zephyr do. It makes teamfighting very easy for the people behind them. You can set up black holes, you can set up all your skills, you can really assess the team fight and just be like, okay, yeah, this is definitely something we want to go in on and help this Gemini before he dies. So that's one of the things I do enjoy about it. But as I said, it does have very big problems, very big problems. And that would be, okay, I'm getting lazy here, talking too much. And the problem is mainly just how weak you are in lane. Like, you're expected to lose the lane, to, like, not lose it, but you're not gonna crush it usually, unless you're just dominating the guy for whatever reason. Like, you're, like, I don't know, you're 600 MMR above him, I don't know. So, you know, reasons like that. Here we are farming. We're just getting our Frost Wolf here, you know, just checking things out. First thing we do when we're gonna get our Frost Wolf is switch our thing there. I actually have it hotkeyed, but I just clicked it. We're gonna switch that modifier so that when we're in real form, we get the most out of it, right? Because a Frost Wolf modifier is much better. And when I do build a Dawnbringer eventually, I'm not going to switch it back to Dawnbringer, because the slow from Frostwolf is much better, and the burn still applies even if the orb's not on, because the burn isn't the orb, it's just the slow which is the orb. So you have to remember that about Dawnbringer. That's why when I go Dawnbringer, I might actually build another orb once in a while. You know. Anyway, team's calling to end the game, so we're going to go with our near 4,000 HP and tank everything. Alright, I'm gonna go tank everything in the world, and if it doesn't work, sorry. You guys should not be standing on me at all, not even a little bit. So just be ready to get your skills off. So we're gonna sit here. I hope an arrow hits, that would be cool. It didn't hit, it's alright. Alright, so we're gonna send that wolf away. Like in a game where it's this one, we don't have to do anything if we don't want to throw it. But we got so many levels, we should really just end the game and put them out of their misery. Even though there is a concede option, but we should. Because it's the nice thing to do. In my mind, really, I don't really give a damn how long the game goes on. If they want to lose it now or 20 minutes from now, I'm fine either way. So yeah, we're having a slightly hard time pushing this base, but you know, bottom tower is lower than mid tower.
Let's go.
I'm dead. So I died.
Waste of time.
And oh,
Shit, I thought it was violent. No, team.
I canceled my TP. And the most painful thing ever in Han just happened to me, where I noobed it up really hard. Anyway, so
Take a pause real
up
quick.
here.
You got food at the door.
Wait. I'm about to end the game. You can just say AFK. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Alright, cool.
Alright, just be with me, team. Come on. They don't have Tempest Ultimate anymore, they just used it. So here we are. Murdering people with Abandon. Don't dive too hard, just get the tower and the racks. We just killed 2 people.
Double tap.
Alright.
Massacre.
Anyway. There's a slight issue with pathing in this game sometimes. It's not happening right now, I'm just letting you know. But sometimes when you click, I feel like sometimes I'll click an ideal spot when I'm microing wolves, like to go up here. Like, I clicked diagonal to me, and then it went like this way, sort of. Like, I was like, no, run through the tower, and it was like, nah, I'm gonna run down, but in this particular instance it's not doing that, so you just gotta watch out for that and be very mindful of your wolves. But yeah, generally in most games when people see me play this, once in a while a guy will come in and be like, stat build is terrible. And to them I would say, I've played against multiple 1900s Smurfs that have sniped me in groups of 3 or 4. That's when I used to pick Gemini, is when they would come at me in groups of 3 or 4. And I would be like, alright, I'm gonna pick Gemini and try and win this game. And I'd often do the stat build because it allowed me to surprise them and hit them with a really strong mid game. Because they'd be like, why is this level 11 guy wrecking us when they're all like level 10 or 9, right? So that would be a really big strength to that. Whereas if I played it as a carry build, I would be much more gankable. Back then, I faced a lot of Monkey King Parasites, so they would always just try and burst me down with Monkey King Parasite, but I would survive and kill them with the build. Whereas if I did a regular carry build, I would melt instantly. I would just melt. So that is the reason why I mostly did it. It was for those situations, but generally you would want to do the carry build because stat build, your lane strength and your early game potential is ruined, and people can't gank for you. And you still can gank effectively, but not as effectively. You won't do as much damage because if you do the regular build where you level up your Q and W, you do a ton of burst damage, which is really good. You know, you W, you Q, you split, you do more damage. It's really great. So I would recommend overall to do the carry build, but when you see me do the stat build, know that I'm generally doing it for a reason. I tried to pull it off against the 2K player Super KGE, and it didn't work. Clearly, he just dominated it completely. He was like, "No, if you want to attack the lane, I'm going to beat you in the face." Like, so every time I tried to go for a last hit, he would probably get 2 or 3 attacks on me. Well, more like 1 or 2, maybe 3. Whereas when I picked a regular hero against him the next game, you know, I was able to fight mid a lot more evenly. Whereas when I went Shadowblade, I thought I won the lane to a decent extent because Gauntlet couldn't. He had no chance of killing me without a teammate. He had no chance of killing me, and I got all the CS I wanted, which is more valuable on a Shadowblade than a Gauntlet. Though we were even on CS, but you know, that overall, that in that case, that would be a win for Shadowblade because he gets more out of it normally, just due to better scaling. But